This is everything we made on day 5 of pastry school in Paris. Today was wild. We're finishing up our apple turnovers, galette des rois, and Paris Brest. We're also making millefeuille and baking up madeleines. First on the menu is madeleines. We need to make the batter so it has enough time to rest and chill to achieve that beautiful bump that everybody loves. As chef says, if you haven't had a madeleine fresh out of the oven, you haven't had a madeleine. Today we're making vanilla and pistachio. I'm so excited. They're one of my favorite desserts. These are the two designs for apple turnovers. We gave it one final egg wash and scoring the tops with a knife, adding vents, and then into the oven. The design for the galette is a little more intricate. This is the traditional one, and you'll also see a spiral version, and that's the more modern one, but both are beautiful. Once they went into the oven, I kept my eye on them because, whoa, did they puff up. Like, just look at those layers. We're using the last of our puff pastry for the millefeuille, rolling it out to the sides of the sheet pan, dotting it with this fancy tool before going into the oven. Chef placed another piece of parchment on top and then a sheet pan on top of that, just to prevent it from puffing up. Our apple turnovers were just coming out of the oven. They get a healthy brushing of simple syrup, and oh my goodness, the lab smelled so amazing and buttery. It was flaky, delicious. I basically inhaled it. We used the same simple syrup for our galettes, and then it was off to lunch. Now it's time to build our Paris Brest. Chef showed us how to make the praline mousseline, which is pastry cream, praline cream, and butter. This gets whipped for a while till it gets super fluffy and creamy and just so good. Chef sliced off 1/3 of the main ring, filled it with hazelnuts and the praline mousseline. The air chamber goes on top of that, and then strategically covered it with some more cream. This looks so beautiful, but can you imagine if this was all cream? The top gets a little dusting of coating sugar, and voila, this pastry is a showstopper. I decided to add chocolate pastry cream on the bottom of mine with a little bit of hazelnut just for a different texture and flavor. And then on top of the air chamber, I added the praline mousseline. The millefeuille was pretty simple to assemble. We cut our puff pastry into 3 equal rectangles and then began stacking them with cream. Now that I've had puff pastry from scratch, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to go back to store-bought. The texture is so tender and the crisp is like so delicate. It's completely worth the effort. Lastly, the madeleines. We piped the batter into a well-buttered pan and then they went straight into the oven. I did achieve a little bump on mine, which are the vanilla, but check out the pistachio bumps. They're so cute, and fresh out of the oven, you get that crispy edge, and it's so good. We are halfway through the program, and it's actually incredible how many different pastries and creams we've made. I feel so inspired and can't wait for what week 2 brings. See you in day 6.